I don't think AI quite has us figured out yet, because as human beings, we'll listen to sad songs to feel better.
Yeah.
I don't think
right.
it doesn't understand that.
That's true. That's true.
It's contrary. So, yeah, I mean, I think that AI has its place. I'm not all against it just as a matter of course. I just think that it shouldn't replace our creativity.
Agreed.
And that's what makes us human. And I don't want to see a computer replace that.
Yeah. I want it to clean my house and cook my meals so that I can create.
With human creativity, I'm wondering now, how has AI shaped that? Because now are human creatives feeling like they need to match the speed and prolific, tendencies of AI now? Or how is that shaping things that you're doing now?
I'm sure there are artists that feel like they need to match that speed. Of course, in our world, it's really hard to get a sync license, and the more music you have, the better chance, the more lines in the water you have, the better chance you have of catching a fish. But depending on the artist, that, what happens to the quality at that point?
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah. And perfection isn't always the best.
No.
I mean, that's the problem with AI, right? It's always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The speed's definitely an issue. With you asking that, like, I'm kind of sitting here going like, yeah, that's not, it's not easy to crank out an authentic song, and it's not even easy to crank out a unauthentic song in a lot of ways. I mean, it's even harder,
Mm-hmm.
One of the things we always just tell people that we represent for music licensing, and this is, I'll pretty much stand by this always, is like, create great music from your heart, or just create music from your heart. And if it finds a place in the licensing world, that's awesome. If it doesn't, like, it's not because the song's not great. It just hasn't found a place yet. And, that's okay too. Yeah. Like, it's a weird, I've heard music licensing and sync licensing called, there's a great music supervisor named Matt Biffa, who's done a TV show. They do the show Hacks and Sex Education, and he calls it the dark art of music licensing, which I love that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But, and then there's other artists on the other side. It's weird because music licensing, we're dealing with music that already exists versus composers. And this kind of goes back to earlier in the conversation, when you asked if we're composing. Both of us have done composing before in the past, and it might be something that I get more into going down the road. It's not something that we do a ton of right now. Mm-hmm. Although we worked with, there's such a crossover with composers to other artists who are just creating great music. We just always try to represent artists who are kind of like just creating great music from their heart and using music licensing in the background of their careers. If they get something great, if they don't, it's okay too. Because whenever an artist tells me they want to make a career out of music licensing, I'm always like, then you need to become a composer. And there's a difference, in my opinion, and this is all just our opinion and kind of the way we go about things, because there's definitely other people that think alternatively about that. But if you want to make a career out of music licensing, you need to go to the film meetups. You need to go meet with the ad agencies, and you need to be composing and doing your best to like get opportunities to compose directly to a project. Like I'm curious, like even for your podcast, for your for the theme songs, did you already know those composers that you went to?
Yeah, I kind of did. One of them was recommended to me by someone who had been on the podcast, and one of them had been on the podcast.
Okay. Keller. It's great, right?
Yeah. It helps.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody always says it's who you know. Like a lot of times it does, like personal meetings with people and conversations with people. And you go like, I don't know why. I just think that person can write a great theme song for this. I often think about Danny Elfman, the composer, because he had, and I've taken his masterclass on masterclass.com, and he talks about how Paul Rubens wanted to use him as a composer for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And he was like, he's like, why do you think I can do this?
He said, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'll ruin your movie.
Yeah, I don't want to mess your movie up. But I do think that most musicians at some point should give composing a shot. Mm-hmm. And one recommendation that we always give people is like, go to your local film school. And I don't always like the word local because, everybody's local somewhere.
Makes it seem
go to your
Well, also, you can take courses over Zoom.
Yeah.
You can.
You should.
Exactly.
You don't have to be local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a film
As
student.
your masterclass experience. Just, yeah.
Yeah. And just find a filmmaker that's making a short film. Don't overextend yourself. Like, and if 10-minute short film, maybe 20-minute short film, any more than that, I'd be like, if it's super music heavy, and see if somebody will let you compose music for their film and see if you like it. Because it's different than creating music from your heart. Because now you're working for somebody and you're trying to create their vision, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a different thing when you're being commissioned to do something.
Yeah.
But I think for some musicians, that can actually be easier. Like, it depends. It's kind of the difference between writing a novel and writing a short story.
Yeah.
So you know that you have to work within a certain parameter in order to get them what they want. Mm-hmm. And having those guidelines can be helpful in a way. But everyone's working methods are different. And, it just depends on what kind of a composer you are.
I agree. Yeah. I do think that there's people that will love it and would like the deadlines and like the essentially working for somebody else and kind of bringing somebody else's vision to life. Whereas I think there are other musicians that'll be like, that's not for me. I'm just going to do what I do.
Yeah. Well, all music is fantastic. So I'm hoping that we'll have a good selection of both.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I want to ask you what you're seeing as far as trends are concerned, though, because I mean, obviously, from when you first got into business to what you're seeing now, things probably have changed a great deal.
Yeah.
So when it comes to licensing for advertising, for instance, and for film, which is probably different. Are you seeing any particular trends in like music types, instruments that they like to use, expressive emotions they want to evoke? Are you seeing anything that you could talk about?
Oh, that's a really good question. The difference, I think, I haven't seen, there's been a really big uptick in requests that at least come into us. Now, we don't get requests from every production in the world. That's, we only get requests from our contacts. I see more and more for that whole motivational, lyrical content, but it's increasingly becoming, they want a rap and hip hop beat, female vocal, clean lyrics. And I think we see a lot of requests come in with female vocal. And I think that's really cool.
Is that an uptick from what you were seeing before?
I don't know if it really is an uptick from what, I mean, we've been in business for just over 5 years. And during those 5 years, we had COVID and then the writer strike and then an actor strike. So there hasn't been, in the film world, at least, there hasn't been a super normal year since we began.
But advertising never stopped.
Yeah, advertising never stopped.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. It changed styles for a while. That was one difference that I saw during COVID. All of a sudden, you
what
see
to what?
From whatever they were using to the biggest example that I could think of is a Grubhub commercial where Grubhub was always a fast, like almost drumline type beat where there's all these different restaurants and we can get this food to you fast and you can do it on your phone and it's all just spitting this information at you. And then during COVID, it's slow, solitary piano. We're here to help you.
Oh, yeah. The whole industry everywhere went to that. Yeah. Even corporate narration, let me tell you.
Yep.
It all went to that, like, somber piano music.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about that before this. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
I would say,
I definitely heard that.
One difference I have seen over the years of doing this is not necessarily in the style of music, but in budgets and how that budget is concentrated. For example, like a Stranger Things has a huge budget for music and they're using huge tunes. And those are the supervisors acting as an influencer in many ways, right? Running Up That Hill was not, it was a B-side and here it is huge again.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I mean, I always loved that song. But yeah, it's interesting to see how many they are licensing because there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the Marvel movies were doing the same thing, using like a lot of licensed music.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, it's been interesting to see sound become more important in the influence of these movies. And I mean, that's why I talk about this. I really feel that it's important and clearly you must as well.
Yeah, we love it. We have a ton of fun with it. I mean, as far as trends are concerned, all this is such a long view game too that it's often hard to track trends. I mean, an advertisement from concept to finish is maybe a half a year. Once production on a ad starts, I mean, people are cranking things out, and there's different media even to being created that. I mean, I'm 48-year-old. And I don't even know some of the things that are going on. And it's not that I don't wish I did. I wish I did. But, TikTok and just different platforms, YouTube, and who knows what kind of the next thing is and how things are going to evolve. And everybody's a music supervisor in some way. Like every kid that makes and every adult that makes a Instagram post puts music with it. You're your own music supervisor. So it's fun to look out for trends. And I always like to see like people do different things that not everybody else is doing. It doesn't happen that often. I mean, like that evergreen kind of ad thing where it's like upbeat, positive,
motivation.
Everybody's always going to want. That's never going to go away. Like,
people want to be inspired.
Yeah, and you want your
customer to be inspired to buy your product.
Yeah, whatever you're pitching, whether it's dog food or laundry detergent or tacos or whatever it might be. Chances are you're going to want to use like upbeat, positive music that people associate with your product. There are opportunities to use other things though. And I do love it when people do think outside the box and very much encourage that because sometimes that upbeat, positive thing, it's not as memorable as if you do something kind of strange and outside of the box and somebody will be like, why did they do that? But they're going to remember that that sound. I like to think of heavy metal a lot of times. Like, and so occasionally I do see people using metal anymore in an advertisement. And I'm like, that's awesome, and I'm gonna remember that, or whatever it might be.
Hello, I'm Neil Cowling of Fresh Air, and you're listening to the Audio Branding Podcast. It's a great place to learn about the power of podcasts, how brands use them, and why radio ads are normally terrible. Oh, and yes, I talk about recording with His Majesty the King. If you want to understand how to harness the power of podcasts and podcast advertising in your own life, keep listening.
Have you licensed anything that you thought was a surprising license? Anything that you thought was just really outside the box that you were excited about?
That's a great question.
Outside the box. Oh, man. We didn't get a license for it, but we saw a request for public domain, like Baptist hymns, like old school hymns that have creepy lyrics that could go into a horror film, like being washed in the blood, or you know, that kind of stuff.
And we did have somebody come over and record a few creepy versions of things like that. That was fun.
I grew up in a Baptist house, so we had a plethora of hymnals around here with a bunch of public domain stuff. So we just searched through and recorded some things.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I was like, yeah, I do tend to pitch like, and I'll drop a couple things in here. Like, there's a great band from our region that named Long. And like, I love them. There's nothing quite like it. It's the woman, her name's Kate Wakefield. She's a genius as a musician and a drummer. And it's just a duo. And she does all kinds of different music. She even has kids albums. But like, the band Long itself is electric cello. And she has like an operatic kind of voice.
She's a trained opera singer, yeah.
And there's not often I can send somebody stuff, but I always send that. And I'm like, people don't go for it like that. Like that, they're like, "This is killer," but
it's got to be a wild card in there somewhere,
so
you know.
I'm always pushing for it, and I don't know. I heard maybe you can speak to some of this too, but like a lot of brands and advertisers, like everybody always wants to do something different, but that's a risk, right? And like, by the time that goes, it could be a big risk. By the time that goes, especially for large brands, whether it's like, I mean, name your large brand, Coca-Cola, Amazon, Nike, Taco Bell, whoever, like, are those brands willing to take like a really huge risk with music and with sound? And the answer for me is, I don't know. But I don't see it very often.
Yeah, it's funny. I think AI gives us that bland middle of the road suggestion. So if they're using that for their creative, I've heard of some creative ad people who are using it to go in the complete opposite direction of. But it's funny because some of them pay a great deal of attention to sound and some of them don't care about it at all. And the people who don't care about it at all are still not taking the risks.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, is it some of it, like creatives and marketing people, I'm wondering, and we meet with a lot of them. I mean, we get super involved in our ad clubs around here and things like that. And I'll ask questions, but I'm not going to name names a lot of times.
No, you don't need to name names. It's okay.
All that I'm getting at is like, are you even willing to run this strange thing up the flagpole? Because if you do, you might get fired, or you might not get. You know, the client might not come back to you.
Sure, we try to encourage people to take those musical risks in that. Matt's mainly the playlist maker. If somebody sends us a request, he knows the catalog the best. I'm a paperwork person. He's the creative and he's got the ear. So he makes these playlists and there's usually a section at the bottom of wild cards.
Yeah.
Like, we thought this might fit because. And sometimes they're silly and sometimes they're like, well, they asked for classical and you're sending heavy metal. Yeah, but, you know, and there's always a place to explain that in the pitch and okay.
When you're listening to stuff anymore, and like, I'm sure over the years your ability to listen to things has changed. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and the way you intake things has changed. But do you notice different trends these days? And is there any?
AI makes it hard to understand those trends now. And I say that only because things have been so homogenized that because, like you were just saying, it's hard to get people to take risks. And AI homogenizes all of that. It puts everything right down the middle of safe. And I think that's the biggest problem we're experiencing right now as a human race. I really think that we're experiencing the middle of the roadness of everything creative that is put out into the world right now.
Oh,
and
man.
the outliers are getting less and less ears hearing them.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating to me as a musician and as a creative person to see this happen and to see the AI slop out there get all the ears. Like it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is one other trend that I've noticed, but I'm not even sure how much of a trend it is, but I like it. 60s, 70s, and even like 80s kind of funk music seems to be something that if we don't have any in our catalog that's like genuine 60s, 70s, 80s funk.
Real vintage.
But like real vintage tracks, I think, are something that I see more of that. I mean, it's cool. Like they were great songs then, they're great songs now. The one ad that comes to my mind is We Got Next, which is I think it was a new. I could be wrong about this. I think it's New Balance, and they use like a Kool in the Gang track. But we do get a lot of requests for like, do you have this type of music from this era that's genuine to that era?
I think finding unsigned recordings from any of the, analog recordings that were not paid for by a record label, the home studios weren't a real.
Yeah, you could be sitting
and not
on
using
gold.
auto-tune.
Yeah.
Before auto-tune. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I've seen some videos online of people reacting to some of like the 70s, 80s music that is out there before auto-tune and listening to some of the bands and the incredible musicianship of the singers and the guitar players and the drummers and all of the people who did this just because they were creative, talented human beings.
Yeah.
And people are reacting to that because it's hard to find now.
I forgot about the reaction videos. I click on them sometimes too, and I'm like, but they didn't know. Like, I just thought everybody knew. But
they can be fun.
It's definitely fun to do. And it is a weird thing in music that we noticed when we started teaching too. And we think about this and talk about this often. And I'm sure a lot of people do too. But when... and I can almost remember, I feel like there was a cutoff year where there's not that many hit songs that every single person in the world knows anymore. Where I feel like Bruno Mars,
Uptown Funk, and Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake, I think were kind of the last two big, like even my parents.
Taylor Swift is up there.
That's true.
That's a good point.
She's in her own movies. I'll give her that.
She's in her own genre. Like really.
Yeah.
I don't
Absolutely.
know.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
But
so there have been some changes over the years, definitely. But I want to ask you something a little more philosophical just before we end off here. And I want to ask you why you think sound is important. What does it do for us?
Oh.
Music specifically, if you want to keep it to that.
Music specifically for me is a therapy of sorts. And it doesn't matter what my problem is, what my mood is, or what activity I need to do or want to do or have to do. There is a genre and a record that will make that easier for me. And sometimes that activity is me making that music, and sometimes it's just that music being on while I have to do whatever it is I'm doing. But yeah, that's it for me. I feel kind of weird as a musician because I make music because that's what I was trained to do, and that's the easiest way that I can make enough money to feed and clothe and house all of us, but I don't necessarily consider myself a creative, but I do rely heavily on music in my everyday life, even if that's not, like, I'm not composing it, I'm not writing it, I'm just utilizing it constantly.
I think utilizing it still makes you a creative. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit.
Thank you.
What do you think, Matt?
Oh boy, it's such a good question. And it's, why is sound important? Yeah.
If you can go there, that's the broad topic of this whole entire podcast.
Yeah, and it's been a blast to be on here and talk. I really do feel like it's the emotional part of it, and sound moves you, and it moves you in different directions, and it can also be common ground for everybody in a way. I mean, it's hard to listen to an emotional piece of music and not be emotional and not feel that with the person that's next to you or multiple people next to you. It's also hard to listen to difficult sounds, whether it's something that's annoying to listen to, or scary to listen to, if you not feel that with other people that are experiencing the same thing. So I just think sound's important because you can close your eyes and I don't know why I'm thinking of an airplane, but like everybody on a plane can close their eyes and just listen to what's happening, and what's happening. And everybody can experience that. And that's just one, I guess, example of like, but you can also listen, everybody can sit in a concert hall and close their eyes and listen to a very joyful piece of music. And no matter where you're from, what you do, what you think, you can all experience that joy together. So,
it's very unifying. It's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And to what you were talking about, Laney, I don't think AI quite has us figured out yet, because as human beings, we'll listen to sad songs to feel better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
right.
It doesn't understand that.
That's true. That's true.
It's contrary. So, yeah, I mean, I think that AI has its place. I'm not all against it just as a matter of course. I just think that it shouldn't replace our creativity.
Agreed.
And that's what makes us human. And I don't want to see a computer replace that.
Yeah, I want it to clean my house and cook my meals so that I can create.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, how can people get in touch with you to avail themselves of your licensing or a musician who wants an agent?
For sure. Our website is scenesupportmusic.com, like a movie scene. Mm-hmm. And my email address is laney@scenesupportmusic.com, and he's Matt at scenesupportmusic.com.
Yeah, we're easy to get in touch with too. Mm-hmm. And the name of the company was always supposed to be a double entendre, and I don't know that it worked out great.
Can you explain?
Well, so it's scene support music. The idea was that we're supporting the music scene, and the music supporting some type of scene in a film or an ad or TV show. And
I think it works.
Sometimes I wish we could just go back and it'd be Matt and Laney's music company or something, but I don't know.
I think you did just fine.
Yeah. Anybody should feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much for talking with me today. This has been a really great conversation. And I do suggest that people get in touch with you for licensing music and musicians if they need an agent, and let's get more people able to make money from their music. I think
Heck
that
yeah.
would be a really good thing.
Big time.
Yes, your recordings are assets in many ways, and I'd love to talk about that with artists.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jodi.
Thanks, Jodi.
Well, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. And if you like what you heard, why not tell a friend about this podcast? It's available in all the usual locations. Until next time.